33-story hotel and condo project.
I'd probably be
Okay,
like
like
that.
stop, tap.
This is a plan by the community for the community.
This one here. Show me.
No problem, Ken. Thanks for having me.
It's Kent Mulgat for Kelowna Now.
And we're joined by Renita Zintel and Zach Tarleson. You're both part of this Rise Up TV show that will be sweeping through Kelowna next month.
That's right.
So nutshell it for me first, Zach. What is this TV show?
Well, Rise Up TV is pretty much the vision of a manager that we all work with, and his name is Mark Rosner Management, and basically his vision for the tour is to not just make a tour of independent artists, but to show behind the scenes and real life stories as a reality TV show setting. So you get to see the music, you get to see the concerts, but you also get to see cut scenes from the tour life on the bus, and
get to know the people.
That's right, and to kind of show real life stories of working musicians, independent musicians.
People like Renita, who you work part-time at London Drugs. It's hard to make music necessarily into a paying job for a lot of really talented people, isn't it, Renita?
Right, yeah. That is exactly it. What we have to do is we just continue on with what we really love to do and try to connect with people. That's,
right.
I mean, us as musicians, we all want to connect with others and bring our music out there and do what we love. That's the most important thing is, we all love it.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I take it Zach will be on the bus, at least as far as Edmonton. You're not on the bus, but you'll be part of the show that's happening at the Habitat on the 22nd?
Yes, yeah, we're both going to, it's going to be at 8 p.m. and it will feature, like I said, Zach and me and other independent artists showing our original music, because as I say, it's so hard for us as independent artists to get our music out there, so this is a beautiful way to do it. It'll be online. It will also be on Patreon TV.
Right.
Which is where people can go and sponsorship.
Okay.
It's Patreon. So.
Right. So the other cool thing about this is if someone finds their way to this show, then they'll be able to sit back and say, okay, how much of that's going to wind up in this show? So I think that's sort of a neat feature to it. Mm-hmm. What are you looking forward to most about being part of the tour, Zach?
I think, well, most of all, exposure, and it's exposure on a level that I couldn't fund or get to by myself, just sort of lining up shows on my own.
Right.
And it's because it's a collective group of artists with a leader in front who's making the arrangements, booking the dates, arranging the bus. Like, costs just go way down for us as independent artists, and we need that sort of push. And so, for myself, and I know a lot of other artists on the tour as well, we're looking forward to it because it gets us into, places with large audiences, great stages, for a fraction of the cost where if we were to set up ourselves. And,
right.
And most of all, it's very satisfying to share original music, and in today's independent music scene, or even just the music scene in general, it's really, really competitive.
Yeah.
And I record in my home studio, and so I eliminate that cost of paying high prices for studios, but also you have to fund everything yourself as an independent artist. So this is just a great way to actually get a stage, actually have some ears to original music and be like, hey, does the general public like what I make?
Right.
So
you're from Vernon. Mm-hmm. Renita, you're from Kelowna. You're a singer-songwriter. That's your talent?
Yes, I'm a singer-songwriter.
And Zach, you're a DJ?
I like to go by music producer.
A music producer?
Yeah, who plays live.
So if you're performing, maybe I don't have the jargon right, but what am I going to see? What am I going to hear?
Basically, it'll be really dancey, really electronic, really synth-driven, and there will be, singing on one or two songs max, right? And it's very sort of clubby, very a dance environment scene, what I do. And so there'll be me with a laptop and DJ tables, and sort of that electronic sort of dance club environment look when I'm on stage.
But that sounds quite different than what Renita brings to the table. So it's a pretty eclectic group of artists.
Yes.
They're not cut from the same cloth here, which might make the bus ride all the more interesting, I guess.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when you got hip hop artists, you got singer-songwriters like Renita, you got, you know, myself, electronic, then, you know, there's rock and there's folk. And it's like, oh man, it's just like just a mishmash. And so I think that's sort of a perk to the tour, I think. Because, like, you know, fans come to the show not knowing any of us. We're not, you know, headliners on, you know, big tours. Like, they don't know our original music. You know, our fan base is sort of family and friends and a little bit extra. That's about it.
Yeah.
And so they're coming to a show. They're paying a ticket price to see all these different genres and to be like, oh, I like that one. Oh, I'm not into that genre. Oh, this one was good. And it's a great exposure for a platform of genres.
You know, it's interesting because in a city like Kelowna, I've encountered musicians that are so good. I mean, they should be doing music for a living, but it's just not always easy, is it?
It's very difficult. You just have to be. I think to make really good music, or not make good music, but to connect with people, it's a lot of I guess networking, right? Networking. Yeah. I mean, I have a Facebook account. I've got a website, but I think it's making real connections with real people is what really helps you go and get your music out there. That's the most important thing, because people aren't gonna. I find too, people aren't gonna like some of the stuff that you write, and some they will. Because I mean, I write blues, I write rock, I've even written electronica, I write folk, but my genre and really mellow stuff. Like I always say, I write songs or cry songs, because I got some really aggressive blues stuff, and then I've got really, really mellowy stuff, and I've got folky stuff. But I mean, you write what you feel, right? And some people are going to like what you do, and some people are going to go, well, I really don't like this. But I mean, that's life.
The main thing is you love it, right? I mean, that's the one reward. Maybe the music business isn't as rewarding to all the individuals as it should be, but if you love what you're doing, that's part of the reward. Just not always enough to pay the bills.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so it's neat that a producer would do something like this, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's. I talked to my manager when he first mentioned this tour to me, and I'm like, I need to tell you like what I do. Like I'm a music producer. Like my zone where I'm in it is in the studio, and I play live as a DJ, and I spin other people's music, and you know I do little weekend shows once in a while here. But I told him I'm going to be creating an electronic music set. It's really dancey. It's really sort of a dead mouse sort of feel to my set. And he's like, that's perfect. That's perfect. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, we're trying to incorporate diversity into this tour. And he's like, I don't have electronic guy as of yet. So he's like, you're perfect.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this.
Right. So I looked at the news release and I've spoken to both of you, and I'm trying to get a real feel for how this show is going to look. I don't know if I fully grasp it, but that's fine. We'll see this when it all comes together, and I guess we'll all find out then what it looks like. I guess even you don't know.
It'll be very abstract.
Yeah.
It'll be very, very interesting. At least if you don't understand it as a ticket buyer who's coming to see the show, you're coming into this tour a little bit blind.
Yeah.
But sort of, I don't know, if I was the listener coming into a tour like this, I'd be pretty curious.
Yeah.
That's all I expect from people who are coming to it, is just a curiosity of kind of like, what's happening here? Like, there's a whole bunch of independent artists traveling around Canada on a bus. Like, obviously, they're loving what they're doing enough to take it on tour. And there's somebody who believes in them enough to take them on tour. And it's like, I would be very curious as a listener about what's coming.
Okay, so if people want to go to the show on the 22nd at the Habitat, what should they do? Are there tickets at a premium, or are they still available? Do you know?
Tickets are available online or through us directly.
Okay,
Yeah.
So if I go online, could you maybe tell me where I would go to buy tickets? Do we have that set up yet?
I believe so. It's patreon.com, isn't it? Is that correct?
Patreon or offhand.
Rise Up TV. Even if you even Google search Rise Up TV tour, Google will take you to a link on our manager's website, and there will be links to all.
Fantastic.
There.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll suggest it to my friends. Thanks for coming in, both of you.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to seeing
have a wonderful day. Yeah.
Rise Up TV.
That's right.
And you're watching Kelowna Now.